I
But
remember
let's get
seeing.
into these
Okay.
rankings.
Okay.
We'll go team by team. So how we're gonna do it? Let's tell the people here, and I'm gonna, if I remember, I'm gonna put this up on a screen so you can follow along. We have one to 1 to 3 games, 4 to 7 games, 8 to 10 games, 11 to 13, and then 14 and over. And this is just like where they're gonna finish in the regular season. So we start off with the Arizona Cardinals.
Well, I see. I didn't get to the actual records for each team. I will say that the Cardinals I had third in their division, so that probably puts them in what nine.
9 wins.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's about where I had them too.
Oh, okay,
You
cool.
have they bring in they bring in well, Kyler Murray has his his study issues.
Yeah.
You lose Hopkins, but they lose Hopkins for the first 6 game of the season. They pick up Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown from the Baltimore Ravens. So um, when I looked over their schedule, I had them in about the 8 to 10 range. That's competing for a playoff spot,
Yeah, I had them in a wild
whether they
card.
make it or not. Yeah, whether they make it or not, I didn't go that far into it, but I definitely have them competing for a spot.
I well, they're lucky that the Seahawks are also in the division, and they're by
Yeah, that's two
default
wins
better.
right there.
Right. So I don't think that they're better than the 49ers and the Rams, but yeah, I think they'll be good, just not great. I don't think Kyler Murray's great, and I think the cracks between his relationship with his team will just continue to grow.
Okay, so we both say 8 to 10.
Yep.
Atlanta Falcons. They are high on
Uh,
Marcus Mariota.
well,
I
somebody
don't know
is.
why again. I can go first on this one. I put them
Yeah.
in the 1 to 3 range.
Yeah, I had them last in the division, so 1 to 3 would not surprise me in the least.
Well, no more to say about that. But they do have Desmond Ritter. I'm high. I am high on him. So
Yeah,
there's that.
I want him to be good. I don't know um, necessarily how he fits in an NFL system just yet, but uh, the praise that
Well, I
Malik
just like
Willis
what
is
I
getting
saw.
is yeah. I I hope he's good.
Baltimore Ravens. They they lose their number one receiver.
Yep.
Um, you have Jackson, who's probably going to be the highest paid because they're supposed to be closing his contract by the first week of the season,
Yeah.
so he'll be the highest paid quarterback.
Another
Um,
quarterback to not win a Super Bowl to be the highest quarterback. Right.
that's just where the market is.
Yep.
Where do you have them?
I had them second in the AFC North. I think I don't think they're going to be better than the Bengals. However, I did have them. This is one of the teams that I did actually have a record for. I had them at the 12 win range.
Okay, 12 wins. I had them in the I have them in the 8 to 10 range.
Okay.
They I think I'm sorry, Jackson's overrated. and I put them on the same level. I put them on the same level as where the Cardinals are.
I agree with you with Jackson. I think, but the Ravens are such a good organization. I don't know. They're just so well coached. They're really good.
They are. I also took into account that they had lost their number one receiver. So,
Yeah.
truth be told, I don't know who Jackson is going to be throwing the ball to,
Right.
um, other than his tight ends. So
I just
there was
figured he'd
that
be throwing to
part of it too.
himself.
And I don't. I also don't know where their defense is going to be. So
Gotcha.
I know it'll be good, but um, I don't know how good their defense is. That's why I put them 8 to 10 range, same level as the Cardinals.
Okay.
Buffalo. Buffalo's our next team.
Um, they, I had them at 15-2.
All right, so you put them in the top tier. I also have them in the top tier. I think they're going to be in competition to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
They're probably the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl.
they are.
Um, they they added Von Miller. They just have weapons for days. Justin Gabe, he I think that's his name, Justin Gabe. He came on at the end of the season, played in the preseason game. He's been looking good. Josh Allen's looking good. They just look unstoppable. So, um, yeah, definitely going to be competing for the best record in the league and the number one seed, and probably playing in the Super Bowl.
I think they will be. If skipping
Um, Carolina Panthers, Baker Mayfield.
ahead. I actually had them second in the division. Um, but that's because it's Bucks, Saints, Falcons, and Panthers. So I think Mayfield is good enough for the Panthers to be better than the Saints and the Falcons. Um, maybe 8-9 wins.
Okay, so you put them on the same level as the Cardinals. I had
I
them
guess I do.
actually have them one step below.
Okay,
Um,
that's
I
fair.
think
Yeah.
I think they'll be on the higher end of the 4 to 7 games. Like I think they're going to be steering more towards 7 wins than 4 wins.
Okay.
But um, yeah, you have Baker Mayfield, you have Christian McCaffrey, but I don't know that there's a lot of weapons there, and
Well, they play
they're
the Saints and
clearly
they play the Falcons. That's 4 wins.
well. Okay, okay. So yeah, that's where we have them. Chicago Bears.
The Bears, the Bears. Um, I'm not very high on them. I'd say probably 6 wins. They're going to be better than the Lions in their division.
Okay.
I want
I also have them.
I want them to be good because I'm really high on Justin Fields, but I just don't think it's it for them.
Yeah, I also have them in that 4 to 7 range. Justin Fields is a star. Well, he's a good player. I wouldn't say he's a star yet.
Right.
Um, Now, the one thing that I've noticed when I watch the Bears play is the offensive line can't protect shit. They played Seattle in the preseason game. Justin Fields on the field, and he was running around like a headless chicken
Right.
pretty much the whole game. Now, Seattle is in a rebuild, and if they're looking like all stars, then what is the actual good team going to look like? So I don't think they'll be able to protect Fields, which is gonna have them struggle. But I do think he's good enough to win a couple games, and I think um, not that I know a lot about the defense, but I think just traditionally the Bears defense, they'll be good enough to keep them in a couple games. So I put him in that 4-7 range as well.
Okay. I'd say for the sake of time, why don't you go ahead and just why don't you list off what you have, and we'll wrap about it.
Oh no, we can keep going.
Oh, okay.
We got it. Bengals next team.
They'll probably excuse me. They'll probably be the second best team in the AFC. I had them in about 13 wins.
All right. I mean, we don't have to go into like deep explanation. I also had them in the same 11-13 range. They'll definitely win their division, and yeah, I mean, it's not too much to say about them.
Right.
They were in the Super Bowl last year. Browns. Where do you put the Browns?
Browns probably nine wins.
Okay.
Then you know what, 7 to 8.
You said 7-8. That's two different tiers. I need one or the other.
The 7 tier. My bad.
I had them in the same place. The 4-7 games. If Watson was playing, it's a different story. But
Yeah.
we talked about it earlier. Watson's out for 11 games. They have kind of a tough schedule, so they do have weapons, but I don't think enough weapons to overcome losing your $230 million quarterback.
Right.
Dallas Cowboys.
I had them in the 12 wins. They'll definitely win the NFC East. If they don't, it'll be a shame. It'll be their fault. It'll also be the end of Mike McCarthy.
It will be, but I have them in the same range. I don't know if they win the division. I mean, as a Cowboys fan, objectively, of course they're going to win the division, but the Eagles have a softer schedule than the Cowboys on paper. So it's going to be hard just on that fact to see the Eagles not winning the division just by maybe one or two more games. But I also still have Cowboys in the 11-13 win range. Denver Broncos with Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is why I didn't have like records for all the teams, because this division just kind of fucked with my head so much, because I had like the Panthers and the Vikings going into the wild card, but then like I started looking at the schedule for for the AFC West teams. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, there's the Raiders and the Chargers and the Broncos, and yeah, of course they're all gonna like beat up on each other. I don't know, man. I could see the Broncos winning 12, or I can see them winning 9.
Okay. So where do you want to put them?
Let's put them in 12.
All right. And then for me, I have them pretty much the same, 11-13 win range. You got Russell Wilson. I think they'll win a lot of games. Don't think they'll win the division. I think that's still going to Kansas City.
Yeah,
But I
I
think
think
they'll be second.
it's Kansas City's until Kansas City loses.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I look at it.
Next up, we got the Lions.
Lions will suck. They'll, they'll be in the last tier, like they always are.
I have them there too. They have Jared Goff. Green Bay, Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers calling out his young receiving core. Where do you put them?
uh, I think they still win their division, probably 10 wins.
Okay. And then for me, I put them that 11 to 13 range.
Okay.
Um,
So you value them a little higher.
yeah, and it's just like a couple games here and there,
Sure.
but I don't know. They have the young receiving core, but they've just been a team that's been consistently good in the regular season, not the postseason
Right.
per se, but in the regular season. So
Well, then
I
they
definitely
basically
put
have
them.
6 wins right off the bat in their own division, so that helps.
Yeah. Next up, we have the Houston Texans. Uh,
See the Lions.
yeah, I have the Texans in the special range of they'd be lucky to win a game. So yeah, 1 to 3.
Yeah.
Uh, oh, I never did my Lions. For me, I put the Lions in the 4 to 7 range.
I thought you did.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I put them in the 4 to 7 range. I think they're a little bit better than Houston, but they're not as bad as Houston. But
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to win a lot of games.
Oh, Houston apparently has the
Colts.
greatest quarterback ever.
I don't even know who Houston's quarterback is.
I don't either.
The Colts.
Colts I had winning 9 games. They'll be second in the AFC South.
I had them around that range as well. They got Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
So there you go. I mean, I don't know a
Right,
lot to
yeah,
say
fair
about
enough.
them. Jacksonville.
They'll might be 6 games. So the 4 to 7 range.
Yeah, 4 to 7.
Yeah.
I put them in the 1 to 3 game range.
Okay.
Trevor Lawrence, he's definitely a good quarterback, but I don't think they have enough pieces to A, protect him, B, to compete offensively. They still need to add more pieces before they're an actual contender.
Yeah, but I think they could eke out like 4 wins.
I guess they could. Oh, it's too late now. I've already
Yeah. Fair enough.
locked it in. I forgot they play the Texans twice.
Yeah.
Kansas City.
I had them at 13 wins. They'll win their division.
All right. I probably put them too high, but I put them in the 14 plus range.
Okay. No, I mean I don't think you're wrong there. I think honestly, it's either the Bills or the Chiefs are going to be like the best record.
Yeah, I think those two will be competing for that number 1 seed. So
Yeah.
yeah, have them both like having the best records.
Watch the Jaguars
Next team.
win the AFC.
No way. Next team is the Chargers.
I had them last in their division. They'll probably win 8 games.
8 games. And then I had them. Golly, that thing doesn't make sense. Oh, I had them in the 11 to 13 win.
Okay.
So if you're keeping track, that is The Broncos, the Chiefs, the Chargers all have either 14, 11, or 11 to 13 wins. So that's I don't even know if that's possible, but
I
that's
don't
just
think it
far.
is.
They have the potential.
See, that's another thing. I'm like, I'm not smart enough to do that.
Well, I didn't like, yeah,
Because you
I
got to
didn't like
remember who played
count off
who,
each.
and
Yeah. Um, Los Angeles Rams.
shit, where are they? I had them winning. No, I didn't. I think the Niners are going to win the NFC West. So I think Rams are 11 to 10. Or if that's a different tier than whatever their 11's at.
Okay, it is a different tier.
Okay.
I had them one step higher, 14. I
Okay.
think they'll. I think they're the team that's going to be number one in the NFC. So
I
I put
just
them at the highest tier.
I just heard about all the pieces that they lost. I don't know if they necessarily added anything.
That's true.
So that was my
I
reason.
can definitely say they're not going to repeat the Super Bowl, but regular season wise, I think they can. I thought they needed to be there.
Yeah.
Um, the Oakland Raiders.
I had them third in the AFC West. I believe they could win about 9 games.
All right, I have them same tier, 8 to 10 wins. We already know my AFC West standings don't make sense, but
Yeah.
that's where I had them anyway. They're winning more games than they can possibly win. Um, Miami.
Um,
And, we bring in Tyreek Hill. You got the most accurate quarterback in NFL history, apparently.
I'd say 7 to 10. Or hold on, is that right?
No,
I'd
you
say
got 7, 4 to 7, or 8 to 10.
okay, thank you. I'd say more 4 to 7.
That's where I have them too. I don't believe in Tua. One of the harder teams to pick, the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh man. Well, I had them second in the division, but that don't mean nothing. Um, I'd say 8 to 10.
That's where I had them too. One of those teams that'll be competing for a playoff spot. Um, Patriots.
I had them at 11 games, so the 11 to 14 range. I think they'll be second in the division. Now I'm going kind of based on the theory that the same as the Ravens, that more of the organization than the talent. I believe in Belichick, so
Hmm.
I could be wrong, but it's 11 games. That and after looking at their schedule.
I had them in the 8 to 10. Same reason. I believe in Belichick. Mac Jones does look pretty good,
Mhm.
and I think they win the division. I think they're. Do I think they win the division?
No, because the Bills are in the division.
No, they don't. But they'll definitely be competing for a playoff spot,
Yeah.
and they'll probably snag one of them. So I put them in the 8 to 10 range. Next team is the Saints. Clearly going through a rebuild.
Yeah.
I put them. For me, I put them in the 4 to 7 range. 4 to 7 or 8 to 10. 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 4 to 7
Yeah, 4-7 sounds solid. I have them better than the Falcons. So if that's if that's all I can say about you, then yeah, 4-7's fair.
Yeah, I have you. Yeah, I say you're not as bad as the Texans and the Falcons.
Right.
So then that automatically bumps you up to the next level. Um, Speaking of bad as the Texans and Falcons, New York Giants. Where you put that? That's not
um,
leading you in any way, by the way.
yeah, they're definitely 4-7 as well. I have them. Yeah, they're not they're not as bad as the Redskins.
I actually have the Giants in the 1 to 3 range. I don't think they're good at all.
I don't know. I like Dabble. I think he'll if there's anything to get out of him, he'll get the most out of it. I think they're worth at least 4 games, at least.
Okay. And then we go to the other side of New York, the Jets. And if it's bagging milfs, you put them in the S tier. But where do you put them on the football field?
1-3, they'll be awful.
I put them in the 4 to 7 range.
Okay.
Um, just because bagging milfs and stuff. And what about the Eagles?
Well, they'll be second in the division. Do you remember what I had for the Cowboys? Because I sure don't.
You had them in the 11 to 13
Okay.
range.
So yeah, about 8-10. Yeah, 8-10.
Okay, and then for me, I had them in the 11 to 13 range
Okay.
with the Cowboys. Like I said, I think the Cowboys will win a lot of games, but I think the Eagles will win the division because their schedule is just that damn soft.
I
Like
don't know.
they
They
have
still,
an easy schedule, so it's hard to not pick them to win these games.
but they have Jalen Hurts.
They do. They also have AJ Brown. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh will be awful. I have them in the 4-7 range.
Yeah, I actually have them in the same range. You would think they will run more just from history, but I had there's nothing. Yeah, there's in the 4 to 7 range for me. I hope I'm wrong. I like the Steelers, but that's where I have them.
Well,
Seattle.
you can't win them all.
Yeah,
Seattle will be awful. 1-3.
that's where I have them as well. They are in a full-blown rebuild. So there you go. Sorry to say, Seattle fans, but you're in a rebuild, so you're gone for a while. San Francisco.
I had them. Excuse me. I had them at the winning their division. Um, I think they will be in the 11-14 game range.
All right, and then I had them. Actually, have them in the 8 to 10 range, competing for a playoff spot. That's just because I don't know enough about them. Like they're one of those wild card teams. Yeah, they definitely have Debo Samuel's
Mhm.
best receiver, aka player in the league.
They have Kittle,
Arguably, they have Kittle, so
the
they have
Joe
weapons.
Dierte.
Not 100% sure where Lance is, but if you listen to everybody, he's a bona fide star. Um, so
Yeah, I
they're
mean,
like one of those.
I might be a little because like I said, I just saw like a couple highlight videos of his, and he looked fun to watch. And I do know that the 49ers they're pretty much a complete team. I mean, yeah, I think their defense needs some work, but in terms of a team that's able to win now, they're really close to it. So if Trey Lance plays better than Jimmy Garoppolo, then I don't see any reason why they're being good or why they wouldn't be good. Now, if Trey Lance isn't good, then obviously, or he plays like a rookie, then.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it all pretty much depends on how good he is.
Yeah, they're definitely a swing team. Um, and he's also not playing in the preseason, so there's even less to go off of. Tampa Bay. We're almost
Yeah,
done here, by the way.
I don't think they'll be that great with the new coach and the offense, and Brady just doesn't seem to have his head in it. I'd say 8 to 10.
All right, I put him in the 11 to 13 range,
Okay.
just because I don't bet against Brady. Like I stopped betting against Brady, so if he's playing, I think think he wins. But well, I guess there's nothing really more to say there. Tennessee Titans.
I had them at the 8 to 10 game. They'll win the AFC South.
Okay. And then I had them um, a little bit higher. I had them 11 to 13 range.
Okay.
Um, Winning the division. I'm a little concerned that it seems like their offense of their offensive strategy is give the ball to Henry.
Yeah, that does seem to
So
be their whole strategy.
like that seems to be what they have built. So,
But it's like
God forbid he gets hurt.
it's like the Giants said to Kevin Nash when Kevin Nash said that all he had was a choke slam. And he said, "Well, why would I use something else when this is all I need?"
That's true. I'm just concerned, like, what if the guy gets hurt or something? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, he will
So,
eventually, or his career will be cut short.
yeah, like, he runs the ball, so, like, they're giving him.
Viciously.
They almost, 2 years ago, they almost he almost had 400 carries.
Yeah.
So, he's definitely he's a workhorse. So, when they're building everything around that, it seems like it's something that's not good to do. But anyway, that I still have them winning the division, and with that 11 range. And then our final team is the Washington Racial Slurs Commanders.
The Redskins will suck 1 to 3 games. Yeah.
All right, I had them a little higher, um,
4 to 7.
just because the Giants are. I put the Giants at the bottom, so
Oh, okay.
I have them 4 to 7 wins.
Okay. See, I had the Giants third in the division, so. But either way,
There you go. We're
I
just
wouldn't be
swapped.
surprised.
But there you go. You only have one team with 14 plus wins, and I have
No, nice.
3 teams with 14 plus wins. But again, I have 2 teams from the same division winning 13 games, so it can't be possible. But that's our expert opinions on the record, on the schedule, the rankings.
Experts.
Yeah. And again, we'll put this up so you can go back to it later. We'll revisit it playoff time to see where we were right and wrong.